Alright, let's look at the homework 6.3, problem number 7. Alright, so we're going to find the error bounds for Trapezoid rule and the Simpsons rule. Alright, so let's do that. I already put the formulas over here. Alright, so to do the Trapezoid rule, we need the second derivative. So let's take the derivative twice. So f of x is equal to the integrand, which is e to the 4x squared. Right, so if you take the derivative of that, you get e to the 4x squared multiplied by derivative of that, which would be 8x. Right, then we take another derivative. Right, now we have to use a product rule because we have a multiplication. So this is our first guy. This is our second guy. Right, so derivative of that, derivative of the first guy is, again, it's the same thing, right? E to the 4x squared times 8x, right? Times, second guy is 8x. Plus, first guy is e to the 4x squared multiplied by derivative of the second guy, which is 8. Right? So this simplifies to, let's see, so this is going to be, right, so we have 8x times 8x, so that's 64x squared. Plus we have 8 here, so I'm gonna put plus 8. Right, then both of them has e to the 4x squared. Alright, then we're trying to find the largest possible value over the interval. Alright, you can see that a is 0 and b is 1. Alright, so the maximum of this absolute value of the second derivative of x over the interval from 0 to 1. Alright, so you can see that the largest possible value you can get, this is actually increasing function. So the largest possible value happens at the largest possible x value, which is 1 in this case. So you plug in 1 here, so you have 64 plus 8 is 72. Right? Then you have e to the 4th power. Right? So the trapezoid error bound for trapezoid rule is going to be, right, so b is 1, a is 0, and we have to cube this, and over, you have 12 times, n in this case is, it's a given, 4, squared, and a maximum value we just found to be 72 e to the 4th power. Alright, so let's find this value. Let's see, we need 4 decimal places. I'm gonna bring out a GeoGebra. Alright, so what we need to compute is, let's see, we have, so this is just 1, so I don't have to worry about that. But we have a 72 times e to the 4th power, right? And then divided by 12 times 4 squared. Right? So I'm gonna hit enter. Alright, so we need 4 decimal places. So I'm gonna put, let's see, rounding to 4 decimal places. So it's a 20.4743. So 20.4743. Right? So let's type it in. Right? So we got 20.4743. Right? So let's go ahead and check the answer. Right? It came back and looks like we got part A correctly. Alright, let's look at the part B. So we're going to have to do Simpsons rule. And you see that we have to find the fourth derivative, so we're going to have to take a couple more derivatives. Alright, so we need to find f triple prime of x is equal to, alright, so we have again product rule. So this is our first guy, this is our second guy, alright. So derivative of the first guy is going to be 128x, right, times second guy. Second guy is going to be what, e to the 4x squared, plus first guy is just 64 x squared plus 8 times the derivative of that is e to the 4x squared times 8x, right? Interchangeable. Alright, so this is going to be, we need to probably simplify first. So this is going to be, let's see, I'm going to have, let's see, 128x, right? Then we have to multiply, we have to distribute that 8x to 64x squared. Alright, what's that? Right, 4 times 8 is 32. Right, 32. And 6 times 8 is 48, so it's going to be 51. Right, then you have x cubed. Right, so it's a big number. Alright, so 8 times 8 is 64 x. Right, so I just distributed this guy to 8. Right, we already took care of that. Then we just have to take care of e to the 4x squared, e to the 4x squared pulled out. So e to the 4x squared. Alright, I'm gonna clean up a little bit. So let's see, the highest term is 512 x cubed plus, right, we can combine these two guys together. So let's see, 8 plus 4 is 12, and 6 plus 2 is 8, so it's going to be 9, and so 192x, right, e to the 4x squared. Right, we're almost there. So we take one more derivative. So since we need the fourth derivative, alright, so this is going to be, right, derivative of this guy. So put 3 in front. So it's going to be 6. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 5 is 15. Right, x squared plus 192. Right, and times the second guy. So I'm still doing the product rule. 4x squared plus, right, first guy is 512x cubed plus 192x, and then you have a e to the 4x squared times 8x. Right, so this is going to be equal to 1536x squared plus 192. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull out the e to the 4x squared. So that takes care of this guy, and that takes care of that guy. Right, so we already took care of those two guys there. Right, so we just need to distribute the 8x to that guy. So it's going to be x times x is this is a x to the fourth term. So 8 times 2 is 16, and 8 times 1 is 1, so it's 96. 8 times 5 is 20. Let's see, 40, sorry. 40. Right, so we have that. And then we need to still distribute 8x to 192. So that will be a x squared term. 8 times 2 is 16. Right, 8 times 9 is 72, so it's 73. Right, 1 times 8, so it's going to be 1536. Right, So it's kind of a big number, but I'm going to clean up a little bit here. All right, so we have 4096x to the 4th power plus, let's see, so I'm going to combine those two. It's actually exactly the same number. So it's going to be 6 plus 6 is 12, and 3 plus 3 is 6, so it's a 7, and that's 3072x squared. And then you have a 192. You have e to the 4x squared. Alright, finally, we can talk about the maximum of absolute value of the 4th derivative of f of x. Right? So this is going to be, right, so this is an increasing function. I'm going to plug in 1. So 4096 plus 3072 plus 192 e to the 4th power. Right? So what's this? Let's see. I can only add 2 at a time. So you have 8, and that would be 6, and 1, and 7, plus 192 e to the 4th power. And this is going to be, all right, so 2 times plus 8 is 10, and 6, 3, and 7. All right. So we got that number. Alright, so finally we can talk about the error bound for Simpsons rule when n equals 4. Alright, so b is 1, a is 0, and we have to raise it to the 5th power, which is going to be 1 anyway. So you have a 180, n is 4 to the 4th power. And then maximum we just found out is 7360 e to the 4th power. Alright, so let's bring out the GeoGebra. Alright, so the GeoGebra, let's see, we have a 7360 times e to the 4th power divided by 180 times 4 squared. Alright, hit enter. Alright, so we got 139.5286. So we got the 139 5286. Alright, so let's type it in. 139.5286. Alright, so let's check the answer here. Alright, submit for testing. I just realized I did something wrong. I put the wrong power, so it's I didn't put the right power when I computed. It was the 4th power, so I think I did something else here. If I look this up, yeah, so I put square there, so it's actually raised it to the 4th power. Right? So value is different. So it's actually 8.7205. Right? So 8.7205. Alright, so let's check the answer again. Alright, it came back and looks like magically we got this one correctly as well. Alright, that's it. I hope that this was clear. Actually, so we have to change that, right? So this was it was 8.7205, so it's 8.7205. Alright, that's it. I hope that this was clear.